Hi, everyone. So today on Dreamland Blue, this is the first time I'm going to have more than just me talking. I have my friend here,
Christine, nice to meet you guys.
and we're going to talk about life after college, more specifically, social life. So on Dreamland Blue, we mainly talk about our stories, our experiences, to make it more specific and to make it less general, so that, this topic has probably been talked about a lot by other people, but each one of us has our individual experiences, and that's what makes it interesting. So I guess to start off, how was life after college for you? Or
Well,
I guess let's give a little bit of background.
Yeah.
Which school we went to, how long we've been out of college first.
okay. I went to Cal State Long Beach and I was in Cal State Long Beach for 4 years. And I graduated in 2016, so it'll be about 3 to 4 years now after college.
So you graduated in 2016.
Yeah.
But you were in college for 4 years?
Yeah. So
That means you were in college a year early, or?
was it? No, I mean, I graduated from high school in 2013. So I guess, yeah.
Yeah, that means you
From
went
high
to
school.
college. Because for me, I graduated in 2016 as well.
Mm-hmm.
But all my friends that I entered college with were graduated in 2017.
Oh,
Yeah.
I did take summer classes, so that's probably
Yeah.
what it was. Then that I was able to graduate a little bit earlier than everybody else.
Yeah. So both of us graduated a year early.
I guess, yeah. What a coincidence.
Yeah, that's a super coincidence.
But yeah, to answer your question, social life, at least in my experience, I thought it was going to be okay because throughout college, I was working at, my family's business.
Mhm.
And I didn't really care about social life too much. But after college, I realized, after seeing all of my friends every single day, and then abruptly, like, it was almost like no communication. Everybody had their own lives to
Yeah.
worry about, and it was a little bit rough. I think it hit me probably last year or the year before, where I was like, "Damn, where are my friends?"
I see.
Yeah.
So like last year or a year before.
Yeah,
So how long have you been out of college?
for about 3 to 4 years.
Yeah, same. So I didn't even need to ask that question. I knew
Yeah.
since we graduated at the same time. So 3 to 4 years for us. I mean, I think I had a different experience because I still had my friends because I went to Occidental College and I wasn't too far away since I graduated a year early. All I would need to do is drive to them, or sometimes they would drive to me,
Yeah.
to my place, and we would hang out. So during the year after college, I still had that. I still had my college friends to hang out with, to talk with. But after they all graduated, they all dispersed because
So did you go to school with like your high school friends?
No,
Okay.
none of my high school friends were
Oh,
there.
okay.
It was just college friends.
Yeah.
And you know how we hang out with a lot of my high school friends now?
Yeah.
It wasn't like that
Mm-hmm.
after the year of college ended for me. So we did. It was a phase of hanging out with my college friends for 1 year, and then they graduated, and then I just, because Occidental College, I don't know, takes in a lot of international students. Like one of my friends was from Singapore, another one, my two roommates were from Hawaii.
Mm-hmm.
One of my closest friends, Arizona.
Yeah.
Like just a whole bunch of different states, and we didn't talk as much anymore, and we didn't hang out because it was very hard. I would visit them. I actually visited each of them. I visited Hawaii
Oh, what? That's
to
dope.
hang out with my
Yeah.
friends there. I visited Arizona to hang out with my friends there. I visited the Bay Area to hang out with one of my friends there. And I'm actually going to go to Singapore this year to visit my friend there.
Oh, nice.
So it's like,
yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah,
See,
so-
but now you have friends in different areas.
yeah, that's a benefit.
Uh-huh.
But at the time, you don't think that. You're sort of like,
Yeah.
I'm really sad that I can't hang out with these people who I'm very used to hanging out with.
Because you see them almost like every day.
Yeah, I live with two of them, so
Yeah.
so it's like every single day we do something, and then all of a sudden, bam, I'm like alone literally most of my time. Like I'm still kind of, actually now less so, but like the year after college ended, I was like by myself a lot. Yeah.
I feel that. I know what you mean. But for the most part, I did throw myself into working so that it wasn't as
Yeah.
bad. But at least in my case, I couldn't have coworkers as friends because I was in the position where I was the one employing, my
Gotcha.
coworkers.
Yeah.
So there was like a fine line between friendship and business.
Yeah,
So
that's
that's kind of why I felt like a little alienated or maybe isolated, so
right.
to speak. And like all of my friends, they had graduated and they were doing their own thing, and we kind of just drifted apart. And that's
Yeah.
where I stand. But now, not so much. I grew out of that and I made new friends. You're one of them.
Yeah. We
So
met each
yeah.
other 2019, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Like towards, I think it was closer to August or September.
I think so. And
Yeah.
then just a little background, we met through board games. So
Yeah.
that's like a mutual kind of hobby that we have.
Yeah, I think we have a lot of mutual interests, which is really
Yeah.
cool. So I think your sort of situation is very rare or like interesting because not many people are, employers to other people, and they think, or it's like there's this line or the boundary or wall like that it's very hard to make friends with them because maybe I don't know. What's your mindset on that? Like why is it hard? Why is that wall there, I guess?
I guess it is there because I want some sort of professionalism. And you also
Okay.
don't know what line you can or cannot cross with someone that you're employing. Like, what if you think that, you're friends, but the person that you've employed are like, we're not on that level. So
Right.
it's a little bit hard because then you could go into lawsuits. Like it just goes into like
Okay.
a deeper, like more.
I didn't know that. I didn't know
more
that.
of a crisis. Yeah. Yeah. Cause you could joke around and say some stuff, but then what if they don't take it as a joke?
Gotcha.
And then they
Gotcha.
also, not to say that everyone's like thinking like this, but they could also be like, what can I do to make more money? And
True. True.
yeah, so it was kind of like that, and it was a little bit difficult, but I have had friends who graduated college and they're like, "Man, I miss," cuz we were also part of like an organization called American Marketing Association, and it was a very very tight-knit group of friends. And there's a few people who I have talked to similar to my situation. We graduated and they were kind of like, "I miss school because adulting is hard.
Right.
You got to pay bills. Like you're on your own now, but 25 years of your life, you're in a school structure system and they don't really prepare you for the real world."
Yeah. I mean, for us, it's more like 22 years.
Yeah.
Or 21. I graduated when I
22.
was 21.
Yeah, I think same.
Yeah. So it's very true. I think a lot of people go through it. I think a lot of people have a really hard time transitioning.
Mhm.
And we'll probably talk about this more in the future, but right now we're mainly talking about, specifically our social lives afterwards,
Mhm.
because that's a big part of that transition. Because I feel like in college I had clubs like we had a club that was very popular in the school. It was called Dance Pro, and basically we would meet weekly, and I was actually a choreographer in that
Mhm.
club, and I just felt like a really strong sense of community, a strong sense of these are my friends. We hang out every week and we're doing this for a show in the future. And it felt really good. Like
Yeah.
those were some of my favorite memories in college. And then afterwards, when you're thrown in, not having that many people around you. I mean, I did start part-time work.
Mhm.
And that was helpful in terms of getting to interact with other people versus just staying home and
Yeah.
completely not talking to anyone.
You need some sort of socialization.
Yeah. But I think the hardest thing for me, like personally, was after my college friends graduated and moved away. At the same time, after we went to Japan together,
Mhm.
like literally after I came back from Japan, that like June something, one of my best friends, who was also an ex-girlfriend,
Mhm.
just told me that she could no longer talk to me, and
Oh,
she was
shit.
she was sort of my safety net or my emotional support,
Yeah.
right? So I mean, it's not a good idea to make an ex-girlfriend that, right?
Yeah.
but
It's difficult to be friends with an ex
yeah,
as well. I
yeah.
mean,
But I have a very, I guess, naive sense of friendship, or how I view friendship.
Mhm.
I always try my best to hold on to my friends, no matter like how long it's been, no matter what they might have done in the past.
Mhm.
I tend to like forgive those things, and try my best to still like connect with them.
Mm-hmm.
To me, like every memory is very important. Every memory, happy memory, not even just happy, but every memory that meant something is important. And I try to hold on to that. And when we see each other, I try to like, I don't pretend like I don't know them anymore. I view it having like open arms and being like, okay, we're still people who once knew each other, had good moments together. And yeah. But after going back to what I was saying originally, after she completely stopped talking to me, that was probably one of the saddest times in my life, just because I didn't have anyone. I felt that I didn't have anyone. Of course, I did have people. You know, I have my sister, I have my mom, I have good friends.
Yeah.
But when I talked to my friend like the other week about how certain friends are certain roles, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not necessarily roles, but certain friends you do certain other things with more than others. And because she was my emotional support, and I didn't really establish that with anyone else as much. So after she was gone, I just didn't really talk to that many people about like my stuff. And I did it on purpose too, because I was like, at the time, my thought process was, if my closest friend in the world could do this to me, then anyone can, right?
Yeah.
And I didn't want to, I was in a very vulnerable state, so I didn't want to like open up to others and stuff. So I felt really, really closed off, and I just like didn't want to talk to anyone. And it was like that for a couple months, I think 3, 4, about like until December.
Damn.
So like June to December. So about like 6 months. I
was
just
this
like,
last year?
This was 2017.
Oh, 2017. Okay.
So 2018 was when I like reconnected with people again, just because I went to like a Halloween party or something.
Oh, okay.
And I started talking to people, and I was like, wow, this is actually really great. Like, why not talk to other people?
Putting yourself out there.
Yeah. So.
But that's the thing. Like, you kind of, I know what you're talking about, because I was in that kind of like deep hole, and I didn't want to talk to my boyfriend about like my feelings, because I felt like it was almost like pity, like, or like a burden. And I'm the type of person who keeps things kind of inside, and it got to the point where I like really needed to talk to someone. And I started breaking down. But what really did help me is journaling. And I'm glad you have the mindset of, you know, cherishing other people and cherishing the memories, because you may never know what would happen. And if, you know, you do lose someone, then you do cherish all of those memories. But
that's really cool that you journal, because like I also journal and stuff.
Because it got to the point where I'm like if I don't express my feelings some way or somehow, I'm gonna like break mentally. And I don't know what would happen if I did. And I'm glad you didn't. So I started journaling, and it definitely was like a huge relief. And I'm also glad that you're out of that hole too, because from experience, it stinks.
Yeah.
It sucks.
I mean, you know, more stuff happened later. Like, it wasn't a complete smooth road after that Halloween party. That sounds like a fairy tale, and it wasn't like that at all.
No, yeah.
There's definitely a lot of moments where I still felt very alone. Just because even to today, I haven't established a friend who is like an emotional support. But because that void was left there for so long, I had to become my own sort of emotional support. So I basically...
It's like habits. It's like getting used to like waking up with them or like texting them. And now it's like suddenly gone. Because
I'll definitely talk about it more in the future, but just a quick version. I think my sort of, for the lack of a better term, clinginess to someone as my emotional support stemmed from the divorce of my parents.
Okay.
Because like after my dad left, he was the person I felt bonded with the most when I was a kid. And then when he left, I just felt that void. And immediately in 8th grade, I tried my best to avoid friends. And then somehow I made friends. I don't know how.
Like, I can't help it.
Yeah, no, like I did my best to stay alone. I didn't want to talk to a single person.
Why?
People were, because I just moved.
Yeah.
I lost all my 7th grade friends. My parents just divorced.
Yeah.
I felt like I was crying like every other week. So I felt super sad. And it was just like, I don't want any friends right now because I want to stay in this like. But somehow like my 8th grade friends in the future after that moment just like kept nagging at me to be friends with them. So I was lucky. I was very lucky.
Those are good friends then.
Yeah. And after that, well, I basically, because of that, in 9th grade, because of the divorce, in 9th grade, I eventually got a girlfriend. That was the same ex-girlfriend that I was talking about. And then we would just essentially stick together through, well, we weren't together the entire time. Like we broke up, I think senior year of high school, but we stuck together as best friends who was each other's emotional support for like 7 years or something.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So into college, into more like 8 years. So 8 years of like talking to the same person, 8 years of having that person there for you. And then boom, they're gone.
Yeah.
And that's what made me feel the same exact way. Like I don't want to talk to anyone, stuff like that. It was just
because that's like a long, like emotional bond. Same with, you know, what you had with your dad. So I can see why you felt that way.
Yeah. So that's why it really screwed me up.
That's tough. But are you in kind of like a better headspace now?
Yeah. I think after like being alone for so long, or like not having that emotional support friend for so long, it's like I was able to depend on myself more. Just like think things through, I call it like neuro pathways in my head, like neuro habits, where when I think a certain thought, a negative one, right? My friend calls them sad boy thoughts. But
emo boy thoughts?
Yeah. So sad boy thoughts at night or whatever. If I have those thoughts, then I just go from, okay, I feel alone, blah, blah, blah. I feel like I don't have anyone that truly understands me, blah, blah, blah. Just negative thoughts that aren't true. They happen, and then my thoughts transition into, wait, but that's not exactly true. I have this person, I have that person, I can talk to that person. Loneliness for me is a choice because I have such good friends. All these new thoughts come, and then I eventually get into a better headspace. I get into a more positive mindset.
Yeah.
And then like the more I do that, the more it sort of just does it on its own. So, and then journaling has helped me with that as well. So now I'm sort of like, if I have any negative or sad thoughts, it just transitions into like some positive thought.
Yeah.
And
that's
also
good.
I added like gratitude in my journal for every day. So that's like, I write about something I'm thankful for. I write about every day. So it's like, I'm always reminded that every day is special. Every day has some moment in it that's worth remembering. And to me, that makes life very enjoyable.
That's really good, because I think a lot of people don't have that at all.
Yeah.
And I guess me personally, I never had that. I never really valued journaling. And when I had like sad boy thoughts or
sad girl thoughts.
Sad girl thoughts. Yeah. When I had that, I would kind of like, sometimes I would like spiral into this like depression. And I've had friends that have depression too. And it's like, damn, am I in the same space too? It's like, and for a while it was kind of like just sad girl thoughts. And then it just kept going like down and down to like a pit. But then, you know, like you said, you realize you have so many people that you can talk to. And it really is just you stepping out of your comfort zone and trying to reach out, because no one's going to do it for you if they have no idea what you're going through.
Exactly.
Yeah. So it is like you have to want it, but you have to really, really want to get out of that type of headspace and to do something that you're not comfortable with, or to do something that like, you know, would make you feel better.
Right.
Because just sitting there or like laying in bed and just wallowing in your thoughts, that's not going to do anything but like make you think more. Yeah. Make you just go into a bottomless pit. And, you know, this like, you know, recording and stuff, that's something new for me. And that's something out of my comfort zone. And it's brought me like a lot of happiness and
that's cool.
Fun. Yeah. Because, you know, I've met our mutual friends through it, and I'm getting closer to them and whatnot. And it's really cool. It's like creating our own community.
Exactly. I started Dreamlit about 2 years ago now. like exactly 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And like I did it alone for 2 years, and then now it's so nice to like have friends to do this with. It's like,
Friends who understand too.
yeah, it's so refreshing. It's so like,
Yeah.
I don't know, it makes me happy.
Yeah,
That's all I can
it's like
say.
a dope process. It's like finding people that you have genuine connection with
Yeah.
and can like do the same hobbies as you. And it's like you're not doing it alone anymore.
Yeah, yeah. I will say that I feel like part of that was my fault as well, just because I
Mhm.
didn't try to reach out to people who were more, I guess, like creative. But actually, that's not necessarily true, because I have reached out to a
Mhm.
couple people, but I don't know, they don't feel, they're not very responsive. I've never met
Mhm.
them in person, so it's just like an online connection or something,
Yeah.
and it's not the same. To me, it's really not the same. It's hard to get into that. I don't know.
But for the most part, I think, after college, social life wise, I really think it's just about finding yourself. I know that sounds kind of corny, but I feel like it really is, because for so long you have the school system telling you you're in this like major. This is who you're going to be. This is the jobs that are available for you, but you don't really have time to figure out who you really are. And I think that's kind of why it
Right.
plays into the part about like social life, and you find out who your true friends really are, like the
Yeah.
ones that reach out to you and ask if you're okay, or ask if you want to hang out when they haven't heard from you in
Question.
a long time.
Would you say that, like, compared to, since we have that 3 to 4 year period,
Hmm.
like initially, I think for the both of us, it was like really, really bad, or like just really sucky, really,
Well, initially, it wasn't that bad for me. It wasn't
Okay,
until
okay.
like I really sat down and I had like some type of space to think
Yeah.
about what's going on in my life that it hit me that I really don't have a social life.
Would
And it
you,
was
would you
just,
sort
like,
of,
work.
do you have a date? Like,
Ugh.
because like for me, I can specifically say 2016 was good, and then 2017 in June, that's when it all like went to hell.
I want to say, let's see, last year was 2018, towards the end of 2018.
Okay.
And a main part of why I also felt that way is because I was doing things, and I'm still doing things that I don't want to do.
Mm.
And I'm kind of stuck. It's more like out of like familial like obligation
Gotcha.
that I'm doing it for. And it's not something that I'm passionate about. So that's part of the reason why I felt that way too. Cause it's like, I'm getting nowhere with what I want to do.
Right. Right.
So it's like, I'm not putting myself first, but I'm putting other people first.
Yeah, I definitely felt something similar in like 2018. Just like, because my mom would always pressure me about like making money and stuff, and
Yeah.
finding a real job and stuff like that. So
Asians.
yeah. So I just felt like a lot of what I was trying to do was for that,
Mhm.
and not necessarily for like what I'm really interested in, or
Mhm.
just what I'm passionate about. And like starting these projects up has been like such a nice thing for me to do, because like I've always wanted to do these things,
Mhm.
and having them just makes me feel that much happier. And I haven't like said it public, but I've been recording myself doing something like as progress for like the things I care about, like
Mhm.
gymnastics, like piano, not piano recently, but more so gymnastics. I've been recording myself for like 70 days,
Mhm.
just like practicing, like doing the splits and stuff. And that's made me like really happy.
Mhm.
Even though that process is all on my own and by
Mhm.
myself, it's just
But it's something you want to do.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's something that makes you happy.
Yeah.
So
And that goes
why
back
not?
to what you said about like finding yourself. It's sort of like,
Yeah.
you got to find that thing that you really love, that brings you enjoyment, and like do it more often, even if it's not part of the whole like discussion of social life after
Mhm.
college, because it still ties into life after college, where
Yeah.
if you don't find that thing, you're gonna end up like really unhappy, basically.
It really is like the little things too. And I do think it does play a part in social life, because you kind of surround yourself with people who have some sort of similarity to you or like with you. And like you just surround yourself with people that you want to be with. And a part of that is like doing things that you want to do, or having that common connection of like whether it be work or like a hobby or whatnot.
Mhm.
And then that's something you guys can bond over.
Yeah. I guess to sort of finish this off, I want to like ask, or I want to get like a sort of overview of both of our experiences. Like, so I'll go first. For me, it was like after college, 2016 to middle of 2017, I still had a good social life balance because of my college friends. They were still around, about like a 45-minute drive. And after 2017, in the middle, in June, boom, cut off. I just didn't want to talk to anyone. I was in sad boy mode for right until the beginning of 2018. And then from 2018 to 2019, I built myself up. That's when I still went through like some moments of extreme sadness. It did deal with social life as well. Mostly in like April. I just felt like super sad about like a friendship that wasn't working out or something. And because of that, I almost went back to that sad boy mode, but like I got out of it. And I think that was like a turning point for me, because what happened in the beginning of 2018 was I bonded with this like friend quite a lot. And then that friend like didn't talk to me as much, and then eventually just almost didn't talk to me at all by the time it hit like April. And that made me so sad, because I almost like was trying to latch on to her as an emotional support basically.
Yeah.
But because I didn't have that, that's when I felt like that was the true point of growth for me. From like April of 2018 to now, like all of it has just been continuously building myself up. And now I feel like social life after college is totally fine. Like I feel like I'm hanging out with my friends pretty often. I'm doing stuff that's really cool with friends, like these projects. I still would like to meet more people who are into, you always want to meet more people who are cool, right?
Yeah.
So I still want to do that. I still want to like increase my social life, I suppose, but it's not like to the point where I'm sad about anything.
I guess for at least my summary, 2016 to 2017 would probably be, or maybe even to the like mid 2018. That was pretty okay. Like it was good. I did deal with, similar to you, like a friend kind of cutting me off, or it was actually a really weird situation that we could get into later, but it was kind of sad because that was my best friend for a very long time. And it was like a sudden
Sounds exactly like
yeah,
that.
it was a sudden like, I'm going to cut you off. You've changed too much for us to be friends, even though I feel like I stayed the same and I grew. But anyway, that could be a story for another time.
Yeah.
But yeah, so 2017 or 2016 to like beginning of 2018, it was pretty good. Like I had some sort of social life because my friends hadn't really found jobs yet. And I had a bunch of free time. That's kind of what my job allows me to have, which I'm grateful for immensely. And then 2018 and 2019, I had many ups and downs. It can be small or it would be like really big ups and downs. And I didn't really get myself back up till the end of 2019 until I kind of figured out like who I kind of am. I'm still trying to figure that out myself right now, but I'm able to surround myself with better people, and that has definitely helped me a lot. And so I want to say I'm at a good space right now.
That's good. Hopefully that it just keeps going up, and for the both of us.
Yeah.
And for anyone, for anyone out there who's like struggling, hopefully our stories had any sort of impact, any sort of lesson in it that might be able to help you guys out.
Definitely. And to even leave off, I would just say to reach out to anyone, to reach out to people that you haven't connected with in a long time, or even just connect with new friends. Just get out your comfort zone. And it's hard, but you do have to take that first step.
Yeah. All right. I think that's good for this session, the first ever Dreamlet Blue with someone else. And I thought it went really well. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.
Bye.